So in today's video, what I want to address is one of the most important things that I've ever addressed in any video I've done, and that is how to get your beautiful baby accustomed to your dog, but more importantly, how to structure your dog around your beautiful baby to keep everybody safe. We want to have structure, 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 because we want the baby to love the dog and we want the dog to love the baby. And sometimes that doesn't mean what you think. It doesn't mean they should play. Let's get started. One, your baby comes first. That means when your baby is with you, or your husband or wife, or the mom or the dad, the dog has something to do separately. The dog can be in a little X pen, the dog can be in a crate, the dog can be on the floor, and we're going to show that in a minute. But the important thing is we want to make sure that there's no accidental interaction between the two. We don't want the dog jumping up and bumping the baby, or you having to push the dog down when the baby's in your arms. That's going to be critical. He's actually a really cute baby. Number two, one of the biggest mistakes people make is they have the dog smell the baby. They think the dog needs to smell the baby towels or blankets or feet or skin or something. That's not true. Your dog's sense of smell is the most powerful scent in the world. A lot of dogs can smell a drop of blood in a swimming pool. So the dog can smell the baby at this distance. In fact, the dog can smell the baby from hundreds of feet away. So the dog knows what the baby is. Getting them too close too soon is only going to be a problem. Don't let the dog smell the baby. Teach the dog that being away from the baby is a good thing, and positive things happen when this experience is had for the dog. Number three, the dog and the baby are never at the same level. The baby should always be higher than the dog, which will prove hierarchy to the dog. But most importantly, your baby being held by you, being cuddled by you, being kissed by you, being babied by you per se, will show the dog that that baby comes first. So if the dog is over here, the baby is up there. If the dog comes over to see mom, mom can pet him, but you'll see that the dog is still at a lower level than the baby. So here the baby is on one level, dog is on another level. The dog is always going to be lower than the baby. I don't ever want you to put the baby on the floor and the dog on the floor with the baby, or the baby on the couch and the dog on the couch at the same time. By keeping the structure, by keeping them separate like this, it really makes for a happy experience for the dog because it gives the dog a place to be. If you give free rein to the dog's confused by the newest thing in the house, which is your baby. And when the dog gets confused, he's going to want to engage with the baby and play with the baby. I can show you a video of Goofy dragging Dwayne around by his head, and they're having the greatest time. That's a really nice way for dogs to play with each other. Now, this puppy, Ziggy, doesn't know how to play with the baby, so he's going to try to play with it instinctually like he would play with another puppy. Mom is being kind to the dog, being kind to the baby. Her number one concern, always, 100% of the time, is the baby. You're a mom. Your job is to protect your baby at all costs. Number four, good things always happen when the baby is out. The worst thing you can do is when the baby is out, tell the dog, down, no, this, that, because you don't want the dog to have a negative experience with the baby because he's going to end up hating the baby. You want the dog to respect the baby, but it has to be through a positive association. If the dog was to act silly or anything like that, correction's totally in order. But here, what I'm focusing on is good things happen when the baby is out. The baby is out, what's mom doing? She's petting the dog. She's praising the dog. She's giving the dog affection because the dog's not interacting with the baby. The minute he goes over to the baby, she says, hey, back off. This is my baby. I'm protecting this baby. And this dog instinctually will understand that structure. So when he's out, she can give him some cookies, some treats. She can pet him because the dog, trust me, he knows the baby's there. The biggest mistake you'll make here is taking the baby and putting it in the dog's face. The dog smells the baby hundreds of feet away. The worst thing you'll do is get that baby to get in his face because then he's going to want to play. Everything that goes in his face is something he gets to engage with. A toy, a treat, your hand. You don't want him interacting with the baby. So here, Vera's doing a beautiful job showing him that he's loved, he gets a lot of affection, and the baby is in a safe place. Number five, your place command is your number one command for your dog. Your dog will have a place to be when the baby is out, and this is a place where all good things happen. If you can have a little pad like this, he can have his place. Hey, down.
So you down?
Good. And he's in one place and the baby's in a place. We don't give the baby a place command. The baby automatically has a place command. But the baby has a safe area and the dog has a safe area. Right now, there's no expectations of the dog. We don't expect anything except that he stays there. And intermittently, we can put a little piece of cookie down and he'll see that this is where good things happen. Now let's ignore him for a minute and see what happens if he goes over to Vera. We'll just ignore him. I'll move over this way a little bit and let's see if he goes to Vera. All you're going to do is tell him, go to your place. So here you can see he's completely settled in his place. He's relaxed. He understands this is his place to be. Good. That's perfect. Number 6, your dog and your baby always eat separately. That is, the dog has a specific place where he's going to eat. Let's feed Ziggy.
Ziggy, sit. No.
Perfect.
Sit. Ziggy, sit.
And putting a little structure before it is a really nice thing.
Oh, boy.
Good.
Oh, boy. Yes.
And the baby eats separately. By feeding your dog and your baby separately, it teaches the dog to stay away from the baby when he's eating, that good things happen away from him. You don't ever want that struggle for food or treats or toys between your dog and your baby. What's the baby's belongs to the baby. What belongs to the dog belongs to the dog. Number 7, your baby and your dog always sleep separately. Don't get in this crazy habit of letting your dog be protective over the baby and sleeping next to the baby. They sleep separately because that structure will teach the dog to protect the family, protect the baby, but he doesn't have to entertain the baby, and the baby is not going to confuse the dog. Good. Number 8 is structure for your dog. That means your dog must understand he's not allowed to interact with the baby, that you're controlling the dog doesn't poke the baby, doesn't sniff the baby, doesn't play with the baby. The dog's job is to interact with you, to be an independent member of your family, doesn't need to play with the baby, doesn't need to engage the baby. He can be very happy being at this distance. He's interacting with you, you're training him every day, you're interacting, you're walking him with, you're exercising him and everything. He doesn't need to interact with the baby. And number 9, one of the most important things, as your baby gets older, this is not a question now for a baby this young, but we want to make sure that the baby is given some structure and that the dog sees that structure. So if the baby or a younger child starts poking at the dog, we take the baby's hand, we say no, and we don't let him do that. By letting the dog see that you're correcting the baby, it'll never let the dog assume that role. So in other words, if a young child starts poking my dog and my dog doesn't see me saying, hey, stop it, the dog's on his own, right? So the dog says, well, he's not doing anything for me, ruff, he's going to just try to protect himself. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified of all my new videos coming out, and there's a lot. The minute I see a child run up to my dog, I say, hey, and I get between them. If I see a baby start to poke my dog, I go, hey, don't do that. And then I immediately praise my dog. I say, good boy, good dog, right? Let the dog always see that you've got it covered. You're the micromanager, and you'll take care of anything. If anything gets near him that's annoying him, you're going to get in the way, because he's learned through training that you've got his best interest at heart. Once he sees that, once he sees you've got my best interest and you're going to be the one to interfere, you'll see my dogs always, as soon as something is questionable, they look up to me. What do I do? What do you want me to do? And that's going to be the safest place for your dog. The more he does what he just did there, looking up at dad or looking at mom, the less likely he is to try to figure out what he should do himself and get himself in big trouble. If you like this video, be sure to go to my website, robertcabral.com, for all the best dog training available anywhere.